We got Jorge Alcala here on the program who's going to be taking on Josh Kwiatkowski coming up here at Rise FC3 on April 13th. George, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I just my day's off to a great Monday. I just flew in from back home. I was able to see my family for a few days back in Yakima. So, very fast trip, but it's nice to see them before I go into the fight. So it's going great, man.
That's awesome. Monday, it's the beginning of the week. What does a typical Monday look like for you?
Mondays are long, man. Mondays are my long days. We have 9 a.m. striking, and then I'm usually up at like 4 a.m. because I'm the #1 Uber in Vegas. So I Uber at 4 a.m. I go train at 9, striking class at 9 o'clock, and then we usually do strength conditioning from like 11 to about 12:31, and then I'll Uber in between or come take a little nap, and then I'll go back out at do jiu-jitsu practice with Coach Casey over at 10th Planet at 8 p.m. So really long days, man.
Okay, well, good for you, though, for making it work, man. That's awesome. Let's go a little bit to the beginning, though. How did you get involved in combat sports?
I grew up wrestling, man. I did a lot of wrestling growing up, and then after I graduated, I got a regular job, man. I actually wanted to be a bodybuilder, so I got really big. I got up to like 215 pounds, man, walking sideways through doors and stuff. So it was crazy. My little brother started dating his little girlfriend, Cammy. Her dad back in Yakima, Rich Guerin, was the MMA coach out there. So we got really close with the family, and they kept inviting me to go to the gym and just check it out. And I finally, dragged myself in there, man. After one day, I was hooked. So I think I trained for like 2 months or something. I had my first fight, and I ended up getting like 6, 7 fights in that year. So I've had a lot of fights, man. I think in the little time that I've been training. So.
So you talked about being from Washington State originally, and now you're in Vegas. How long have you been out there?
I moved here. I've been here for a little over a year. I moved here January 1st. So, I mean, just past my first full year, man. The summers are brutal, but the training out here is awesome.
Yeah, no, I bet. What was the connection there? How did you end up training up there?
So my buddy Julian Erosa.
Oh, I know Julian, Juicy J. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Juicy J. Yeah. So we're both training in Yakima, and then he moved out here, and then like I'd say 5, 6 months later, something, I ended up just kind of following him out here, and we live together. We're roommates or whatever. So
I had no idea. I literally interviewed Julian before his last fight, so I'm guessing it's in the same place because that's where we were doing the interview. So that's very cool, man.
Yeah, Business Kitchen, man. So
yeah. That's awesome. I know things didn't go his way in the last fight, but Julian always very exciting. So that's a good roommate to have, a guy who's made it to the UFC twice actually. So that's been pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been awesome, man. Training's been great. Just the bodies we have up here, the talent. I mean, it's amazing, man. So far, it's been great, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We'll talk about training in a sec. You mentioned the Uber driving. Is that all you do? Do you also teach as well, or is it just Uber driving?
Just the Uber driver. I am the #1 Uber in Vegas.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind next time I'm out there. We should.
Next time
I use Uber because I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We don't have Uber. We're the only province in Canada that doesn't have Uber, and it sucks. I used to live in Toronto, and I used it all the time, and now Uber and Lyft, those are like the two best things in Vegas. Anytime I go to cover a UFC card, so.
Yeah, man. Well, if you're ever out here, I
will hit you up. Yeah, no, for sure. You're fighting for Rise. How did this all come together with you competing up in Canada?
Oh, it's crazy, man. So like we had just been looking for a fight everywhere, and then my buddy Gary I don't know how to pronounce his name. Manga. He just started training out here recently, man, and we all clicked really good. Me, him, Julian, and then we were all just training together. And then one day I'm just like, man, I'm looking for a fight. Like manager looking for a fight, and he's like, well, I can probably get you on this RFC. And that's what it is, right? RFC, Rise Fight.
It's Rise Fighting Championships. Yeah, you got it.
And then it was crazy, man. So he called me, like we had talked about it, like in the afternoon, like a few hours later, he called me. He's like, hey, man, this Josh's opponent just fell out, man. They need a guy right now. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll take it. Like, called the managers up there. They started talking. They set it all up. So Gary's the one that got the fight for me, man. He's a really good guy, man. Great training partner.
And him and I commentated the last Rise show, so because he filled in on short notice because there was a fallout, so it worked out great. So that's a small world, I guess, as they say.
Yeah, that guy does it all, man. He's crazy, huh?
Yeah, no, he is. He's awesome. Now, had you been to Vancouver before, Vancouver, Canada?
No, man, first time up there, so I'm excited. I heard it's like during this time's like the best weather out there, right?
Yeah. As long as there's no rain, yeah, it's pretty good. But I'm looking outside right now, and it's pretty sunny. So I think you're in good shape for that one.
That's great, man. I'm not a big fan of the rain, so
no,
I like the sun. Yeah.
Let's talk about your opponent, Josh Kwiatkowski, I should say. How do you feel like you match up against him here? What do you know about him?
I don't know much about him, man. I've watched a little bit of film on him. I think he's very scrappy, man. Very tough opponent, and I've noticed he's not afraid to sit there and exchange punches, But I think in the end, man, I see my hand getting raised. I think I'm gonna be too much for him, man. So I don't think he's fought anybody like me yet. So it's gonna be a very good fight. I mean, I think the fans are definitely gonna like it. We're gonna put on a great show for everybody.
I agree. I actually spoke to him yesterday. He pretty much feels the same way, that this could definitely be fight of the night. Now, do you like going into enemy territory like this and spoiling, being the spoiler? Do you like that? Do you thrive off that?
Oh, I don't mind, man. I don't mind being the dark horse, and going in there. We train hard out here, man. I train to do it all, so like I'm not afraid to go out there and just fight. So we prepare for everything, and I'm ready to go into a war, man. So wherever the fight goes, I'm gonna be ready for it. So but I'm obviously looking for a finish, but I'm ready to go the distance if I have to. Wherever the fight goes, I'm ready to go. So. Yeah.
Now, in Las Vegas, what I often hear with a lot of those guys out there is there's a lot of cross training going on. Do you get to other gyms as well, get different looks?
Right now, man, I'm doing some, like, my main coach is Coach Casey over at 10 Planet, and we're bouncing there from we go there and we're at Extreme with Eric and Coach Dennis out there. So I mean, the training's just awesome, but that's pretty much the only two gyms I'm at right now.
Okay, yeah. No, I knew there was some crossover because I know Jeremy Kennedy quite well. I don't know if you've got to work with him at all.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy's awesome, man. He's super tough, man. He's a great training partner to have, man. He's been coming down here a lot he's doing all his camps out here so far for his last few fights, and he's been super successful, man. He's doing a great job, so.
Okay, yeah. So as far as training partner goes, who have been some of your main guys besides Julian? Who are some of the other guys you get to work with?
I've been training with Julian, and Gary's been here, like Joe Benavidez. There's just so much guys, man. Tim Elliott's been out here, and there's just a bunch of guys that are fighting the PFL. I know Lance was out here for a long time, Lance Palmer. So I mean, everyone's out here, man. I got endless bodies, and there's the talent out here it's insane, man. So you can only get better out here, right? You can't get worse.
Yeah, so no, it's a huge luxury. I think that's why you're seeing a lot of guys going out there and making their camps. So good on you for getting a little head start there, because it seems like now we're seeing more fighters come out. But I mean, the fact that you've already been there a year, I think, is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. Just being able to when we're sparring or whatever it is, it's cool to have like that look and be able to train with these high level guys. And if you're doing decent against them, it's a good little confidence booster, right? So I felt great going into any fight that I'm in, man. I feel like I've been in every position and. I'm getting smothered in the gym by all these guys, right? But they're the top guys in the world, so it's gonna be good, man. I take that going into the fight too. All that the guys that I'm training with too, the guys that are behind me. So it's great, man.
What about the cut? How's that going? The weight cut ahead of this fight? We got a couple weeks out.
Oh, the weight cut's good, man. I'm walking pretty light right now. This is actually probably the lightest I've been walking, man. I'm walking right now like 57, 58. No, I wish. No, I'm waking up at like 57, 58, man, the last few days, so it's been good. So I'm considering maybe going down to 35 eventually, man, down the road. So, I mean, I think it's going to be, really tough, but I just got to get walking, pretty light. So.
Well, there's a bantam. I was going to say there's a bantamweight title fight on this card as well. I don't know if you saw. Craig McLean is defending his title against the flyweight champ Chad Anghel.
Yeah, I did see that, man. I seen that on the poster, right?
Yeah. So something to keep in mind, depending on how this fight goes, or regardless, I think if you want to make the move down, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. So maybe in the future, man. I've noticed like there's some pretty big. The 45ers are big, man, and I carry. I mean, I'm not super heavy. I just need to get my walking weight, just low and. I'm working on that right now. It's been a little bit easier now that I moved out here away from my mom. She's cooking all that great food. She was my neighbor, so it was always hard to stay low on weight back there, man. But now it's becoming, really easy now. So it's not too bad, man. Yeah, weight cut's going great. Julian will be up there with me, and Coach Casey will be up there, and then maybe Gary if he can make it, man. So. I'm not sure. I think he said he was on a trip to like Thailand or something.
That seems about right for Gary. He's always traveling and doing something different. So
yeah, I'm trying to definitely get him my corner if he's there, man. If not, for sure, Coach Casey and Julian will be up there with me. So
you talked about this fight being a war. How do you see this fight playing out?
Man, I don't know, man. They say everyone has a plan until they get in there. I'm just ready for everything, man. If we take it to the ground, I'll be ready to go on the ground, on the feet. I feel comfortable everywhere right now. So. I'm just expecting a war, right? So it's gonna be a good fight, man. We're gonna put on a good show for the people, so it's gonna be nice.
So we talked about Uber driving, we talked about training, we talked about your career a little bit. What about hobbies outside of MMA? You watching any sports, watching any Netflix, playing any video games? What would I find you doing?
So obviously me and Julian train all day, man, and he's an Uber driver too, so we're both Ubering out all the time. And whenever whenever we got some downtime, we just like to hang out, man, just kind of rest the body. And we like playing 64 all the time. We're
Oh,
really good
that's my system, man. I
Yeah.
love that. What games you playing on there?
We got to play Super Mario, man, and NFL Blitz and like Mortal Kombat. We're always on that stuff, man. So that's pretty much on my downtime. I just like to hang out, man. We're up and down all the time. So anytime I get a chance to just do nothing, like I just kind of chill out and stuff. But I like to watch movies, Netflix, go on drive. We'll do some hikes sometimes. So
Yeah,
you know,
good hikes
we'll
up
do
in
some
Vegas,
golf.
I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do everything, man. But most of the time we're just playing 64 and making bets and stuff. So it gets pretty intense here.
Punching people in the face and playing N64 sounds like a pretty good life to
I'm
me.
living the
And living
dream,
in
man.
Vegas with that great weather, so can't complain. So
Yeah, I'm
that's good
definitely
stuff.
definitely living the dream out here, man. It's great.
Well, we're looking forward to this card. It's coming up here April 13th. Rise FC3. Now, if you can't be there and attend this one live, you can watch it on Fight TV. It's going to be there online. George, it was great talking to you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram. Alcala 3030, and my Facebook is George Alcala. As far as sponsors, RDX has been a big one. Hooked me up with some good gear, and what is this? Pharma Extract's been taking care of me too. And I got the Las Vegas Farmers Market, man. They've been taking care of me for this fight camp also. And I think that's it, man.